Two species, both stubborn, both nocturnal by choice, both capable of eating garbage and calling it sustenance, both known for climbing to insane heights for absolutely no reason, then acting confused about how they got there. One of them is a goat. The other one wrote the app you're watching this on. Today we compare them. Spoiler, it's closer than either side wants to admit. Every fact about the goat is real. Every fact about the programmer is also real and somehow sadder. We're going category by category: diet, vision, escape behavior, social hierarchy, memory, stress response. Goats have a reputation for eating anything: cardboard, tin cans, your car's upholstery, but that's mostly a myth about taste. The truth is worse. Goats are just relentlessly curious and test everything with their mouths, the way a toddler with hooves would. Their digestive system is a four-chambered fermentation tank that can actually extract nutrients from stuff that would kill most animals: bark, thorny shrubs, weeds nothing else will touch. Programmers have a four-chambered fermentation tank too. It's called a torso, and it runs exclusively on caffeine, cold brew, and whatever was in the fridge that didn't have a name on it. Studies on software engineers consistently flag the profession for high rates of poor diet and sedentary stress eating during crunch periods. Self-reported, deeply believable, extremely on-brand. Verdict: the goat's diet is a nutritional adaptation. The programmer's diet is a cry for help that compiles. Goats have horizontal, rectangular pupils, and it's not a design choice, it's a survival trait. That pupil shape gives them a field of view up to around 320 to 340 degrees, nearly a full circle, without moving their head, so they can keep grazing with their head down and still watch for predators approaching from almost any direction. Programmers evolved their own version of this, the three-monitor setup. Code on one screen, Slack quietly detonating on another, and a monitoring dashboard slowly turning from green to red on the third, watched out of the corner of one eye while pretending to focus on the actual work. Neither species can look directly at the threat. Both have just learned to sense it approaching. Goats are notorious escape artists. They can unlatch gates, headbutt weak points in fencing until they give, and in multiple documented cases, learn to imitate the exact sequence a human uses to open a specific latch by watching. Farmers regularly describe fencing that's goat-proof the way people describe passwords that are unhackable. Neither claim tends to age well. Programmers have their own escape mechanism: the calendar decline. The sorry back-to-back message sent from a standing position already halfway out the door. The over-engineered "I have a hard stop," which statistically correlates suspiciously often with lunch. Both species will find the one weak point in any system built to contain them. It's basically a professional skill for one of them and an act of biological defiance for the other. Nobody's sure which is which anymore. Mountain goats can scale near vertical cliff faces most humans would need ropes and a support team for, split hooves that spread for grip, a rubbery pad for traction, and a low center of gravity that lets them stand on outcrops barely wider than a coin. And critically, they usually do this for salt deposits or minerals in the rock. Not food, just minerals they want. Programmers have their own pointless cliff face, the completely unnecessary architecture decision. Microservices for an app with 12 users, a custom caching layer for data that changes twice a year, Kubernetes for a static website. Nobody asked for it. There was no business requirement. Someone just wanted to climb that particular cliff, and now the whole team lives on it. Both are technically impressive. Neither was strictly necessary. Goat herds run on a strict headbutt-negotiated dominance hierarchy. Higher-ranking goats get first access to food and space, and the ranking gets relitigated physically on a regular basis. It looks chaotic. It's actually a very efficient conflict resolution system, mostly bloodless, occasionally very loud. Programmers run on a strict comment thread negotiated dominance hierarchy known as code review. Senior engineers get first and final say. Rank gets relitigated on every single pull request, in public, in writing, forever, so it can be screenshotted later. It also looks chaotic. It is, in fact, chaotic. There is no efficient part. The goat headbutt has a clear winner. The 47 comment thread about tabs versus spaces does not and never will. Research out of Queen Mary University of London found goats can distinguish and remember happy versus angry human facial expressions, and they preferentially approach the happy ones, meaning a goat is out here reading your mood and quietly judging your life choices in real time. Other studies show goats retain learned tasks for at least a year with no practice. Programmers have the same long-term memory pointed at a single target, the bug from 3 years ago, the outage nobody's allowed to mention, the colleague who force-pushed over the main branch that one time. It's not written down, it doesn't need to be. It'll come up, unprompted, during a completely unrelated retro meeting, in the exact tone of a goat that remembers you were mean to it in 2022. Myotonic goats, the famous fainting goats, have a genetic condition where their muscles seize up for a few seconds when startled, causing them to topple over stiff as a board. They don't actually faint or lose consciousness. They're fully awake the entire time, just locked, rebooting. Programmers have an identical reflex, medically referred to, by nobody but it should be, as the incident response freeze. The pager goes off. The Slack channel fills with red exclamation marks, and for a solid 3 to 5 seconds the body simply stops, still holding the coffee cup, still fully conscious, just rebooting. Both parties get back up. Neither one learns anything from it. Both will do this again next week. So here's the final report. Same diet philosophy, same peripheral paranoia, same escape instincts, same pointless climbing, same brutal hierarchy, same long memory for grudges, same full-body system freeze under pressure. The only real difference is that one of them gets milked for a living and the other one just feels like it. If you're a programmer and this felt personal, that's not a coincidence. That's research. Subscribe if you've ever frozen mid-sip when Slack made a noise. See you next time.